Hi, I'm Chelsea Moe reporting from McHale Center. Today is a great day because I get to talk about my favorite basketball player of all time. No, I'm not talking about Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, or Kevin Love. I'm talking about Dale Moe.
In the summer of 1975, when I was 21 years old, I took a job at Otter Basketball Camp in Otter Tail County in Minnesota. I continued to work there for the next 10 summers and met some of the most important and influential people of my life. My very first week there, I met a young 13-year-old point guard from Duluth, Minnesota. The first thing I noticed about him was he had a really bad temper. He would only flash his temper, however, under one circumstance: if his team lost. Through time and maturity, that temper was channeled into a more appropriate reaction and action. But his taste for losing never left him, however, and became one of his trademarks and part of his legacy: the incredible and deniable will to win. Not for himself, but for his team and teammates. Always team first. His name was Dale Moe. In August of 2010, my daughter Maggie was looking for a place to attend college and play basketball. We visited Concordia College in Moorhead, Minnesota, and had the opportunity to visit with the coaches about their outstanding program there. My Maggie is a point guard, and in teaching her how to play point guard, I always wanted her to emulate Dale. I wanted her to play with unselfishness and to be a positive leader. I wanted her to play the position the right way. While Maggie was visiting with the coaches alone, I had my first opportunity to look at the wonderful Athletic Hall of Fame display at Concordia. For the 4 years that Dale played at Concordia, I was the basketball coach at Minnetonka High School in the Twin Cities, and because of the Monday, Wednesday, Saturday MIAC basketball schedule, I was able to attend most of the Cobra games in the city's area, which there are several. Without taking anything away from any of Dale's great teammates, which would make Dale extremely uncomfortable, I always felt strongly that the major component in the Cobra's success, especially in those back-to-back conference championship teams, was the defensive toughness, the incredible will to win, the unselfishness and unquestioned leadership of their point guard. So I enjoyed looking at the display, and I looked long and hard at the inductees, several of them that I knew personally and all very worthy. But when Maggie and I left that day, I kept asking her one rhetorical question: how is Dale Moe not in this Hall of Fame? So I just started asking the question out loud, and the question has finally been answered. Dale has always been in my Hall of Fame, much more because of the person he's become than his athletic ability. He's just taken the skills and attributes that he learned as an athlete and taken them to a much bigger stage and game, the game of life. Still assisting, still deflecting the credit to others. Of course, he has a much better team and teammates now than he ever had at Concordia. I'm so proud to call Dale my friend. Congratulations.
The senior MVP holds the record for most career assists, 478 to be exact. Moe is one of two players who started on two consecutive conference championship teams in Cobber history.
Too bad Norma couldn't have been here, but she had the same feeling I did for you guys. You were just salt of the earth. Of course, that's easy to come by when you have parents like you had. Well, congratulations, congratulations. You deserve every bit of it. I love you, buddy. I love your family.
Hello, I am Irv St. John, Dale Moe's high school basketball coach at Duluth East. I was asked to say a few words about Dale, which is certainly an honor, and it was a privilege to have met Dale as a player. Early on in elementary school, Dale was a very feisty young man on the basketball floor, but he did exhibit the traits that every coach likes, in that he was very competitive, he was hardworking, he was coachable, he was team-oriented, and he was very, very unselfish. For 27 years, Dale was one of the best defensive players I coached. As a point guard, he led his team to a 23-win, 2-loss season. I'm very proud to have been a small part of his development as a player and as the fine person that Dale is. Congratulations, Dale. You certainly are most deserving of this honor.
Hi, this is Mark Street calling with a few comments about Dale Moe and his Hall of Fame. I think there's no doubt that Dale Moe is a very deserving member of the Concordia College Athletic Hall of Fame. I played with Dale for 2 years at Concordia, and he, if you have to pick a word, it would be unselfish, facilitator. He was the kind of guy that made the team better by things that don't necessarily show up on the box score, and that was a point that I had to make, or tried to make, with the Hall of Fame committee a few times that didn't know Dale or how he played. And he's the kind of basketball player that, unless you played with him, you didn't fully appreciate all that he did for your team. Cared about everybody, even the guy that didn't get to play hardly at all. Dale cared, and he laid it on the line. He was a wonderful teammate, and over the last 80 years, the only two Concordia College men's basketball teams that won the MIAC, the teams that Dale Moe was a key player. And then the senior year, he led a group of freshmen and sophomores to a very respectable season. So I'm very proud to have played with Dale, to call him a friend for all these years, and he's Mr. Unselfish, and I'm very glad he's in the Hall of Fame. Congratulations, Mojo, you deserve it.
This is John Eitzner, Dale Moe's college basketball coach, and I would have this to say about Dale, that in 21 years of coaching men's basketball at the collegiate level, Dale Moe was the very best leader that I ever coached.
It's not just his performance on the court, but his skills demonstrated off of it as well. While he might be remembered most for his assists on the hard top, colleagues remember him for his reaction in a bad, tragic car accident. As players were returning home from a game, they were driving in the midst of a Minnesota winter. It wasn't too long before the bus hit a sheet of ice. Players were ejected from the bus, as well as coaches, into the huge snowbanks of Minnesota. Moe took off his jacket and snow boots and gave it to his teammate Brad Willis. Moe then ran 2 miles in his bare feet to the nearest gas station to receive help. Many Cobbers call this assist 479. He wasn't chosen for his college's Hall of Fame off of just his performance on the court, but what he did off of it as well. Here's what his family has to say.
Hey Dale, this is Doug calling from Duluth. Just wanted to congratulate you on your induction into the Concordia Hall of Fame. It's well deserved, and as I was thinking about your career, I know there's a common theme there, and that was that you always had this inner fire that you were able to play with and use to your advantage, and boy, that fire was evident early on, like when we'd play Nerf basketball in the bedroom, or the refs, I think, got to hear some of that inner fire at a couple games, and the early Little League basketball that you played in, that people there knew that, boy, you had a fire to play. And just so thankful that you continued to play basketball all through high school and college, and had success in both the arenas, the state tournament in high school and conference championships in college, and setting many career marks there. And all that hard work paid off. I think one thing that is really fun is when we were playing basketball in the summer together at UMD, and McHale from the Boston Celtics, he was with the Gophers at that time. He came down with a bunch of his buddies, and we were able to play against him, and we held the court all night long, and he was even getting a little frustrated, so that's a lot of fun, and fun memory there. I know one time, it's always been a thought of mine, it would have been fun to be actual teammates on a team, but then I go, hey, we're brothers, so we get to be teammates for life, so I'm so thankful for that. Congratulations, and love you.
Dale, congratulations to you on being named to the Concordia College Athletic Hall of Fame. Your years playing with the Cobber team were very exciting and very fulfilling. And this honor makes me one happy and proud mother. Congratulations again, and always enjoy and treasure this wonderful memory. Love you.
Hi, this is Coach Moe, and I'll tell you, it was exciting to see Dale go from a feisty young lad to coach him, and we are proud of his achievements in high school and college. Good work, Dale.
Congratulations, Dale, on this well-deserved recognition to you for your outstanding contributions to the Concordia College basketball legacy. As someone who watched your basketball development, it is apparent that your determination, drive, perseverance, and leadership exhibited on the basketball court is why you are being celebrated with this honor. However, it is even more apparent that God used your basketball career to prepare you for His work and is evident in the man you are today. Congratulations from a fellow Cobber and from your extremely proud little sister. Love you.
Dale Moe, the captain's incredible streak of games played, games started, games captained, and dare I say, the assist king of Minnesota Intercollegiate Athletic Conference basketball. He is to me a man I look up to in every way imaginable. And looking back, it's easy while you're on campus and somebody's classmate not to have a full appreciation for somebody who can be, should be, and now years later, too many years later, given that he's finally at long last going into the Athletic Hall of Fame, to have that full appreciation for this honor tonight. And it is incredibly humbling for me. And it's also an indelible memory. That first night I walked into the Memorial Auditorium my freshman year. Dale was also a freshman on campus. And he, as I looked out at midcourt for the first time, I was watching a basketball game here at Concordia. In the snap of a finger, this poor opponent didn't have a chance. For a split second, he glanced away while dribbling the basketball. And here comes this young man with hair, not quite as sandy as it is today, going up, banking it in for two. And it was the first of Dale Moe's hundreds of steals as a Concordia Cobber. There is no question that no man had more steals in his career on the court in the MIAC and here at Concordia than Dale Lamont Moe. Yet make no mistake, Dale's most impressive steal came months earlier when he and Sonny Lee, his now wife of 30 years, were in the same freshman discourse class. Now the teacher had some quirky thing about him. He made every student had to sit in alphabetical order. So here you have Lee, Miss Lee, and Mr. Moe, right? Now, Sonny, don't you praise Jesus every day? Your name wasn't Sonny Zajkowski or Sonny Hartmark? I mean, think about it. You have Lee and Moe, boom, it was meant to be. And I remember you saying that what you felt head over heels with in love was the fact that he was so humble. He stole your heart, and it is by far the most impressive of Dale's hundreds of steals on this campus. He also, most minutes played, most games played with 104, and yes, of course, his signature milestone of 478 assists. I mean, think about that. This perhaps explains why 30 years after graduating, he finally enjoys this honor of going into the Hall of Fame because of his sheer selflessness, the ultimate irony of this weight that was worth it. Because when Garrett Byrne went in 1998, on his 15th reunion weekend, you could look back and think of all the times Dale Moe was dishing the ball outside, inside, into the paint, and Garrett Byrne would be the first to acknowledge that this, too, is Dale Moe's rightful place in the Concordia Athletic Hall of Fame. He made everyone around him shine, and he couldn't have cared less about the attention or the publicity or the headlines. Dale Moe always had your back, and it was never more true than on that bitterly cold December night in 1983. The Cobbers had just lost an MIAC game in the Twin Cities. The team caravan was about halfway home, coming north back to Moorhead. Just past midnight, sheet of ice, van goes off the road. Flipped 8 times, rolling over 2 complete circles. His teammate, Brad Willis, was hurled through a window. He lay in that snowbank, barely conscious, and Dale Moe, his roommate, his friend, his teammate, in bitterly cold temperatures and falling snow, ripped off his own coat, covered Brad's chest. Dale then took off his own shoes, gently placed them on the feet of his friend, roommate, and teammate, Brad Willis, and then ran nearly 2 miles through almost knee-deep snow, 1 foot bare, the other foot with a stocking. And he got to the truck stop, and he had that bus driver, he let him know what had happened, and before help could come, and amazingly, with God's hand of grace and Jesus' blessing, every life was spared, and Dale Moe's legend was secure because it was his 479th and most incredible assist. Dale Lamont Moe is a man's man. The shy kid from Duluth who needed the unshy Sonny Lee to show him the light and raise this beautiful family, all of whom are here tonight. I cannot tell you what he meant to this basketball team. There have been 3 men's conference basketball championships in Concordia's history. The first in 1931, and the only other 2 after more than half a century later came during our sophomore and junior seasons. Both seasons, they came within 1 win of appearing in the national tournament. He was selfless, he was hyper-focused, he hardly ever got into foul trouble, which is why he so frequently played every minute, all 40 minutes of all of these home games and away games, with a staggering average number of assists per game of 6.4. You don't have to know basketball to know that that is more than half a dozen times you are giving up a shot and making sure somebody else shines. Dale's coach is here this evening. John, I know firsthand, and it is so obvious, on how you insisted on laser focus from all of your players. And I know how moved Dale was these many years later when you called him, in your words, the greatest leader I ever coached. And you're right. And I know how much he looks up to you all these years later. Thank you, John. Yet Dale's lasting legacy will be, after all of these years since graduating in 1984, his legacy will not be bringing the team to the brink of a national tournament appearance or getting 2 of those 3 conference championships. It will be how he has become a church planter, a husband, a father, an unapologetic lover, and a lover of Jesus, and someone who will make sure that he would trade all of this attention in, he would trade this enshrinement in, he would trade all of these accolades in, if only 1 more soul gets to heaven and finds Jesus. That, to me, is what Dale Moe is all about. Dale, thank you for this honor. It makes me well up when I think about you asking me to be up here today. And it's my distinct pleasure to co-present you for enshrinement to the Concordia Athletic Hall of Fame.
And I think Gord needs to work on his speech a little bit. Obviously, I'm extremely honored to be asked by Dale to be a presenter here tonight. And I'm also honored, I think, to be the first Dragon ever to be a presenter in Concordia.
First what?
And I think I've got about 1.5 minutes left, which I would have a hard time, talking about my barber for 1.5 minutes. About Dale Moe, somebody, one of the most important people in my life. So I might go past that 1.5 minutes just here. I was thinking that if I did, Coach Glass might get mad and yell at me, and then it dawned on me that he's been yelling at me since 1974, literally. So at this point, I'm thinking big whoop when I'm yelling. I met Dale at a magical place called Otter Basketball Camp in 1975, my first week there. I stayed there for 10 years because it was, like most places that are magical, it was magical because of the people that you met. And I met some of the most important people in my life. And Dale was a 13-year-old, very feisty young man with incredible will to win, and that obviously has never left him and is part of his legacy. I think he stayed there longer than 10 years. I was there for 10. But I'll just tell a couple quick stories about Dale. He stayed on, he coached, and when we were in a place we eventually called the Hill out at camp. The Hilton was a 15 by 15 structure. It had 1 double bunk and a single bunk, and a mirror and a sink. And then if you had to use anything else, you had to walk across the road. Sometimes you'd even get a warm shower, and then the other facility was there as well. But it was a great place to sit and talk after we'd been on the court for long, hot hours. Just a couple of the conversations we had. Number one, I think about the talk we had about his new girlfriend, Sonny. And I had met Sonny, and I'd actually gotten a chance to meet her beautiful family as well. But I am a dragon, and I'm basically Shell, and Sonny's hot. My advice to Dale was, if this girl will have you, then you better grab her and hold on for dear life, because you're all funny, your kid coverage with this girl. And subsequent to that conversation, I had the honor to stand up for Dale at his wedding to Sonny. I got to do a little singing too, which was fun. Another conversation that I remember with Dale was when he was trying to decide about going into the seminary. And I wanted to be a good friend. I wanted to ask him tough questions. So I asked Dale, I said, now, if you go into the seminary and become a pastor, are you still going to be willing and able to blow the foam off a pitcher of cold beer with your friend Curtis on occasion? And he assured me that he would and could. So I gave him my full endorsement. And subsequent to that conversation, I was honored to be at Dale's ordination as a minister, and I got to do a little singing too. And I'm very proud of that. You know, I guess I can sum up how I feel about Dale and his friendship over these years this way. You know, and I hope that not too soon, but someday I'm going to be going up to those pearly gates. I'm going to be in front of St. Peter and his committee, and they're going to be looking at my life's work. And I'm expecting to see quite a bit of skepticism in their faces. Because I am dragging on a shop. So, I get asked that $1 million question, you know, why should you be allowed to pass through these pearly gates and into paradise? I'm going to look them in the eye, and I'm going to tell them I know you. So I get to read this citation. I'm so pleased that I got through most of it without crying, because I inherited that quality from my Norwegian dairy farmer father. And I can only cry when I get my dry cleaning back. So. I can't tell you, Dale, how honored I am to read this citation. And I didn't bring any notes, and Tori handed me this when I got in here, so I'm glad I brought my copies. After graduating with honors near the top of his class at Duluth East High School, Dale Moe enrolled at Concordia and enjoyed a stellar career as a member of the Copper basketball team. Known as a good ball distributing guard, that's an understatement. Moe was a valuable contributor on the 1981-82 and 82-83 Minnesota Intercollegiate Athletic Conference Championship teams. He was voted to the 1983-84 MIAC All-Conference First Team and the NAIA All-District Team. He finished his career as Concordia's all-time leader in assists with 478, or 479. A cum laude graduate, Moe went on to earn a Master of Divinity degree from Luther Seminary, St. Paul, and was ordained in the public ministry of the Evangelical Lutheran Church in America in 1988. Since then, he has compiled an exceptional career in church leadership and governance. Prior to serving in his current position as lead pastor and mission developer at Light the Way Lutheran Church in Tucson, Arizona, Moe held the pastoral positions at ELCA churches in Hibbing, Minnesota, and Grafton, North Dakota. In 1984, he was honored by being selected to preach the closing worship service at the Eastern North Dakota Synod Assembly. His service to the college includes serving as a member of the Concordia College Corporation, representing the Northeastern Minnesota Synod. Moe has been an internship supervisor for Luther Seminary and an intern instructor. He has served on the Evangelism Board of the Grand Canyon Synod, represented the Synod at National Evangelism gatherings, and served on the Synod's Evangelism Strategy Team to develop meaningful worship experiences for new people coming to the church. Since 2011, he has been a board member for vision and planning for the town of Marana, Arizona. In recognition of his outstanding achievements as a Copper athlete and for setting example of leadership and character, Concordia College is proud to induct my friend, Pastor Dale Moe, into the Concordia Athletic and Concordia College Athletic Hall of Fame.
Thor. I don't know about the committee's decision of putting a preacher last behind the mic. That's what you get. It's good to be here. Truly is humbling, and I'm ever grateful to be amongst you this evening, and it's a true blessing. It feels like a flood of memories, thoughts, images, ideas, relationships. And it's a flood, and I feel it. Classmates of 84, any here? I know there's some. There we are. That's the family flood of 84. We've been graduates of this place and grateful for what we've been able to be on the recipient side of what Concordia's done for us. Graduates of Concordia, must be plenty in here. Yeah, there we are. It's like an extended family. We're truly blessed. Got some family here, all my family. I've got extended relatives, sister-in-laws, aunts and uncles, immediate family. Raise your hands so they all can see you. Here's my family. We got my mother here. There's a couple of people not here. My father's not here this night. He would have been here, but he is being recognized for a Teachers Hall of Fame at Duluth East this same night. So he's receiving his award, and my sister and brother are there to embrace that. My mother's here, so she's here with us, providing that flood of family, that part of it. My father-in-law, Gib Lee, he's in heaven watching over us, but it was Gib's question to me many times as the years went by is, how are we going to get, this Hall of Fame thing, and so forth. And so he's watching over this night, and I'm blessed by that. My immediate family, my wife Sunny, Chelsea, Haley, and Alex are right here from Arizona, and they've made the trip, and it's the bond of love that is expressed by them to me all the days of my life, and I'm ever grateful for that, and truly a blessing. That love will carry me through, and it's that flood of love that sends me forth. Let's see. Coaches are here. We've got a few coaches back here. Coach Isis and Dwayne, raise your hand up. Is there other coaches around? Armin People was like a coach, so he's here too, I know. So truly blessed, and that's a flood of expression of who they are to me. Teammates. Mark's here, I know. Teammate, raise your hand. Slick was wrapping ankles. Where's Slick? Seriously. So teammates are here, and that's that same flood that carries on. Got some grafted people here, people that I served in parish there, and that's a flood of their care that's here this night. Friends that are here, friends that are surrounding the place, as we saw with Kurt and so forth. So I feel it, and when I feel this sense of flood of love and care and grace, it reminds me of where I've been, where I'm at, and where I'm going. And as I think of all those expressions, I'm also mindful of who I am and whose I am. Certainly who I am is a reminder that I am a child of God, dependent upon His grace and mercy. And whose I am is just that, a child of God. And so are you as people of God. A couple other thoughts. Certainly I wouldn't be up here if it wasn't for the sense of team. When a person scores, one person's happy. When you throw an assist, two people are happy. Plus the reason for having two presenters, and I thought it kind of fit why it was represented of me, and I'm grateful for that. I want to also say that I want to share a story of a situation that arose when we were playing. It was a story that took place down in the Twin Cities. Coach Isis said that it's very important that we do things outside the basketball court, and so he invited us all to go to the Children's Hospital. And we were going to go there and visit the kids. And I remember specifically the child I visited, I think his name was Jeff. Jeff was about 12 years old, living encased inside kind of a glass bubble. And Jeff did fairly well as long as his mother was there. If mom stepped out, his blood pressure would rise, all the commotion and bells and all the monitors would start to ring and blare off. And as soon as mom got back in, as he was expressing for, he'd kind of call out for mom, his blood pressure would calm down and so forth when she returned to the room. And his mother was his foundation. And when I think about that, I think about that foundation that we have as people of God and as children of God. And so those foundations were brought forth in the sense of teamwork, and I appreciate the fact that our coaches and all of the coaches that I've been a part of had laid that foundation in that sense of what it means to be a team. Certainly, when I think of sports, I think that we is greater than me. That certainly played out because it certainly was something that I could not do by myself, and there's no I in team. So that played out as well. And I did really well on the basketball court as long as I was around other good players. I just needed to find a way to get the ball, and that usually worked well for me, and I was grateful for that. I want to share one other story to kind of summarize a little bit about this whole experience, and that is there was a Sunday school teacher who was going to express the life of the church to all the students. It's like a third grade class. And on any given Sunday, there were always new students coming into class. And so she had her back to all the students on that particular Sunday, but her lesson for that Sunday was going to be, here's the church, here's the steeple, open the door and see all the people. So as the kids were filing in, she was getting ready and so forth, and she turned around and she welcomed the kids, and at that, she noticed that one of the new girls, who happened to be a black African-American girl, had her arm amputated from the elbow down. And unbeknownst to her, she didn't want to kind of highlight, that this was an issue and so forth, so she continued to kind of hope and wish upon, that she could just carry out the story and so forth. So she said, I'd like you to grab your hands and, follow me, repeat after me and so forth. And as she was doing this, the little white girl sitting next to the black girl leaned over and said, here, let's the two of us make the church together. And they grabbed hands and said, here's the church, here's the steeple, open the door and see all the people. And so life for me has been a journey of being a part of that team. A team of family, a team of coaches, a team of classmates, a team of friends, and a place that we call home like this when we come back to Concordia. It's all about us together. And now I get to bring that to the arena of God's kingdom, and I'm able to say that we are the church together. You are the church, I'm the church, we are the church together. It's that bond of love that carries us forth. And so I'm ever grateful for this night, and humbled by being here with you this day, and look forward to the future of knowing that we are all God's children. So good to be with you. Thank you so much. And I do want to say in closing that it's the love that I feel that extends from my family, my wife Sunny, and my kids, my mother, my mother-in-law, right on down to my extended family, my dear friends. That's what really binds us all together. And praise God for that. Thank you.
There are many titles for Mo. Cobber Star, MVP Senior, Assist Record Holder, but my favorite title is Dad.
Hi, honey. I was asked to say a few words. I have the privilege of talking about you for a little bit on this video, and I was just thinking about 32 years ago when we went to Concordia and we were freshmen together, and I got to know you, and we visited and talked, and you never even mentioned that you played basketball. And then I went to the first game, and here's this freshman, Dale Moe, starting for the Concordia Cobbers, and he was the star of the team as a freshman. And your humbleness just really impressed me and really hit me right to my soul. So I fell in love with you immediately, and thank God you felt the same way, and it's been a wonderful 30-year journey with you here in life. And I'm so proud of you for this award you're getting. You have always been my MVP, and I'm grateful and feel blessed that we've been able to share this life together. Congratulations, and I love you so much.
I'm Chelsea Moe, and there's Mo where that came from next time. Back to you guys in the studio.